Why do you want to work out? What is your goal? And then it can be as crazy as it is. It could be, I want to impress girls. If that's your goal, so be it, but it motivates you. It could be that you're emulating a certain, bodybuilder, or a certain football player, a certain boxer, whatever it is. Have those pictures put all over the wall like I did when I was a kid. I put pictures of Reg Park and of Sonny Liston, of boxers and of Ali and of powerlifters and weightlifters all over my bedroom, so that every day when I go to sleep, every day when I wake up, I look at those pictures and they motivate me. And you know exactly what you're chasing. This is why I always smiled when I was in the gym. People always came up to me and says, why are you smiling? You're working out 5 hours a day. You're doing the same as the other guys, but the other guys have a sour face. They're pissed off that they have to do another rep or another set or something. I looked forward to another 1,000 reps of sit-ups. I looked forward to another 500 pounds of leg press or squat. I looked forward to doing more and more curls until my arms fall off. Why? Because I knew that every rep that I did, and every set that I did, and more weights that I lifted, I get one step closer to turning that vision into reality. I couldn't wait to get to the gym. I worked on it. I started visualizing myself very clearly as a lean athlete, because that's the only way I could lose that weight and all of a sudden get interested in running more. Because up until that point I ran like 3 miles after training or before training or whatever, but now all of a sudden it was 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, 8 miles, and they even ran mini marathons in order to lose the weight. And I did everything in high reps, and I was watching my diet, what I eat and all those kind of things. So it just shows you what is possible if you visualize exactly what you want to look like. So it can go one way, which is that you can lose weight, you get trim and get slim and everything, you get the abs outwards, or you go the other way and you gain weight because you see yourself big and you see yourself as a winner of a Mr. Olympia or something like that. Have the specific goal of what you want to accomplish, because then you never go to the gym and you say, today I feel down a little bit, I don't know what it is all about, I don't know my life, I'm confused. No. Because that means that you haven't even set up your training partner. Because Franco Colombo, who was my training partner, was responsible if I just blinked. Did he say, well, let's pump up the day. The day I challenge you to a bench press competition, let's see if you can beat a 180-pound little guy. Let's see, and he will know how to push the buttons, because that's what the responsibility of a training partner is. So whenever people say, how can he be successful in bodybuilding or in lifting or in sports or in this, I always believe 100% in a training partner. I tell you that I was a perfect example of someone that was not confident at all. I mean, when I was a kid, I was just like any other kid. I had my hang-ups and problems and all this. But when I joined the weightlifting club and I won my first little trophy, because I did the best clean and jerk, and then we went to another meet and I won another little trophy, I started feeling like somebody. I started feeling like when I lifted the weight, pound, put it over my head, this weight, I saw the people, this 100 people that were in a beer hall. Usually those weightlifting meets were in a beer hall. They were getting up and they were screaming because I was the 16-year-old kid. I was the youngest on the weightlifting team. And so they were cheering me on because I was this young kid that was performing well. So I was getting little trophies and then bigger trophies. And all of a sudden I started really feeling like, wow, I'm somebody and I can lift this weight and I actually can be a good weightlifter. I wanted to make sure that out of the 24 hours of the day, that I don't waste one single hour. Those hours were too precious. And so there I just want to tell people, don't give me this thing, I have a difficult time, I need the time, and I don't have time for this, and I don't have that. You have time. You make the time. When the President of the United States has time to work out, when the Pope has time to work out, then you have time to work out.
I was heavyweight champion of the world. I was 27 years old. I had money, fame, glory, a family, achievements, kids, everything running so smooth, but it didn't matter because mental health will bring you to your knees if you let it. Boxing brought me back, because when you lose the passion to breathe fresh air anymore and you don't want to live, you're in a terrible place. I was in a high-performance car, Ferrari. I was heading towards a bridge, and I was going to crash into a bridge. And before I hit this bridge, I got to about maybe 500 foot from the bridge, and I heard a voice. I physically heard a voice speak to me and say, "Stop, don't do this." And I pulled over, and I remember I was shaking, I was crying, I was thinking, I knew I was totally gone. I didn't think I'd ever come back. Like, boxing was the last thing I ever cared about at this position. And I remember thinking, you know what, if I'm ever going to get right again, I've got to get fit, I've got to lose the weight. I wasn't losing the weight to come back to return to the fight game. I was doing it for me, for my health. And the more I trained, the more I was getting better and better by the day. Retirement wasn't for me. I had 3 years out the ring, and it was a horrible 3 years, the worst 3 years of my active life. And I thought, I'm going to get back in the ring, I'm going to fight again. Maybe I was finished in my body, but my mindset was that strong, and I believed that I was going to win. If you believe it first with the mind, anything's achievable. And I believed it so much, and I never ever doubt myself in a fight, no matter who it is with who. I always believe I'm going to win somehow, some way. I'll find a way. Depression and anxiety my whole life, from being a little boy to being a man. But I always had a goal of becoming heavyweight champion of the world. And it always brought me back out of the darkness to achieve that goal. Nothing else mattered. I had a lot of tragedy go on in my life, and a lot of stuff happened that maybe could have put me off track of being heavyweight champion. I always sort of sidetracked all of that and concentrated on the job in hand. And when they said, right, you're going to fight Klitschko for the World Championship, I was like, when I win, I'm not going to have a goal anymore. I don't care if they hit me. I don't care what they do. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to have fun in the fight. They're all serious, like, oh my God, this is a fight. Doing dances, waving my arms in the air, singing to them. No matter what you do in your life, it all comes down to you. Whether you're a successful athlete, whether you're a businessman, whether you've got a regular 9-to-5 job. The biggest thing in the world is contentment with who you are and what you are. I know plenty of rich people. I know billionaires and I know millionaires. 99.9% of them ain't happy. Very unhappy people. But then I know people who work 9-to-5 for minimum wages and are so positive and so happy. They're happy and contented with their life and their surroundings and everybody in it.
You don't set out to build a wall. You don't say, I'm going to build the biggest, baddest, greatest wall that's ever been built. You don't start there. You say, I'm going to lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. There will not be one brick on the face of the earth that's going to be laid better than this brick that I'm going to lay in this next 10 minutes. And you do that every single day, and soon you have a wall.
Fail early, fail often, fail forward. You know, it's always a little bit frustrating to me when people have a negative relationship with failure. Failure is a massive part of being able to be successful. You have to get comfortable with failure. You have to actually seek failure. Failure is where all of the lessons are. You know, when you go to the gym and you work out, you're actually seeking failure. You want to take your muscles to the point where you get to failure, because that's where the adaptation is. That's where growth is. Successful people fail a lot. They fail a whole lot more than they succeed, but they extract the lessons from the failure and they use that, the energy, and they use the wisdom to come around to the next phase of success. You gotta take a shot. You have to live at the edge of your capabilities. You gotta live where you're almost certain you're gonna fail. That's the reason for practice. Practice is controlled failure. You're getting to your limit, getting to your limit, getting to your limit. You can't lift that, you can't do that, until you get to the point that all of a sudden your body makes the adjustment and then you can do it. Failure actually helps you to recognize the areas where you need to evolve. So fail early, fail often, fail forward. Because everybody has dreams. And as much as you want to be able to listen a little bit, because somebody's going to give you a gem, but nobody knows but you. You can't get advice on what you should do with your life, right? Nobody knows what you are. Like even sometimes you don't really even know what you are. You got to take your shot. And it's like, as much as you want people to agree and you want the people around you to be supporting your dreams and all, it's not gonna be like that all the time. You gotta do it alone. And people will help you, and when you get the ball rolling, people will jump on. But if you don't believe, nobody else is gonna believe. People come along because your belief is so insane, that your belief is so strong, that following your dreams is a lonely, solitary, scary, dangerous pursuit. You can't wait for somebody to think you can do it. And it's like, because they don't think you can do nothing they can't do. And you gotta be willing to risk everything to become that seed of what you believe is in there. You gotta be fearless, you gotta be relentless.